This is chapter number 2, class 9th, and the topic is electronic configuration. And the learning objectives are shells, what are subshells, atomic number, FPA principle, how electronic configuration carried out, and what are the exceptions. You all know very well about shells and subshells. But before going into the topic, it's very necessary to revise these basic terms. So let's start. So what are shells? Shells are the energy levels in which electrons revolve around the nucleus. Here is an example of atom in which nucleus is present in the center and shells are around it. Like this is shell number 1, shell number 2, shell number 3 and shell number 4. Shells are represented by N and designated as K shell, L shell, M shell and N shell. A very interesting thing is that a shell which is closer to the nucleus has minimum energy. So what do you think? Which shell will gonna be filled first? Yes, you are 100% right. The shells which have minimum energy will accommodate electrons earlier than as compared to the shells with higher energies. With a very common example like houses which have high budget rents are rent out with difficulty, while the houses with low rents will rent out easily. In the same way, the shells with a minimum energy will accommodate easily, and the shells with higher energies will accommodate with difficulty. Now, how electrons accommodate in shells? A general formula for filling of electrons into shells is 2n square. Here n is representing the number of shells. It can be 1, 2, 3 and 4. We're going to put the number of shell in it and find out the number of electrons which can accommodate in that shell. So let's try. Now here are the 4 shells K, L, M and N. K shell can accommodate 2 electrons, L can accommodate 8 electrons, M can accommodate 18 electrons, while N can accommodate 32 electrons. Now how all this happened? Let's try it. The formula is 2n square. Now I will put the value of n one by one and we will get our answer. It will be very good if you can do it with me. Now here at the place of n I will put the value of k. So what is the value of k? Yes, you are 100% right. The value of k is 1 because it is closer to the nucleus. It is the first shell after nucleus. So the answer will be 2. So in this way, K shell can accommodate 2 electrons. Now I will move toward the L shell. What is the value of L shell? The value of L shell is 2. So at the place of N, I will put 2. And the answer is pretty sure. It will be 8. So in this way, L shall accommodate 8 electrons. And if I move toward M shell, what is the value of M shell? Its value is 3. So now I have to put 3 at the place of N. And its answer gonna be 18. So in this way, M shell can accommodate 18 electrons. And now the end shell. What is the value of end shell? The value of end shell is 4. And the answer will be 32. So in this way, by applying the formula, we can easily find out that how many electrons can accommodate in each shell. We have discussed about shells, and the subdivision of shells are subshells. They are designated as S, P, D and F, where S stands for sharp, P for principal, D for diffuse and F for fundamental. Now, where these subshells lies? So it's very easy to remember. They are just like rooms in the houses. If houses are considered as shells, then rooms will be considered as subshells. In the similar way, the orbitals which are present around the nucleus are shells, and their small subdivisions are subshells. Electrons will accommodate on the basis of Afbah rule. And what was that rule? Each electron will occupy the lowest energy level available. So, we have discussed this before as well. The subshell which is lowest energy will fill up firstly. Here the question arises that how many subshells shells have. So we will start from a very basic first subshell, K shell, which is very closer to the nucleus. Now K shell has only one subshell called S subshell, and I have told you before, S stands for sharp. It is spherical in shape and it can accommodate 2 electrons. The next is L shell. L shell has 2 subshells. One is S and the other is P. P stands for principal and it is dumbbell shaped. It can accommodate 6 electrons. After that is M shell. Now the M shell has 3 subshells, and these subshells are S, P and D, where D stands for diffused. So these are the subshells in shells. N shell has 4 subshells, S, P, D and F, where F stands for fundamental. S can accommodate 2 electrons. P can accommodate 6 electrons. D can accommodate 10 electrons, while F can accommodate 14 electrons. So now, after studying all this, we will move toward the topic which is electronic configuration. Now, it's very easy for us to dive into the topic and to find out that how electrons accommodate in atoms. So here we go with it. What is electronic configuration? Electronic stands for electrons and configuration means the arrangement. So here we will study that how electrons arrange them around the nucleus in their energy levels. So can I say the arrangement of electrons in proper sequence around the nucleus in subshells according to their increasing energies. Now you all are familiar with the shells and subshells. The shells are K, L, M and N, while the subshells are S, P, D and F. Here the question arises that how we have to arrange the subshells for the accommodation of electrons. So I have a very easy trick for you. For your convenience, you can remember that how we have to arrange the subshells for the accommodation of electrons. We know that the K shell has only S subshell, while the L shell has only two subshells which are S and P. M shell has three subshells which are S, P and D, while N shell has four subshells which are S, P, D and F. Now for my convenience, I am changing their names. I know that S stands for sharp, but here I am changing it to school. So S stands for school, P for public, D for divisional and F stands for federal. So it's gonna be quite easy for me to remember them, like school, school, public school, public school, divisional public school, divisional public school, federal divisional public school, federal divisional public school. I have to write each subshell twice. So in this way, I can easily remember it in my exams, and definitely you will also. After putting them in a sequence, we have to number them. So as S is the first subshell, we will number it firstly, like 1S, 2S, 3S, 4S, 5S, 6S, 7S and at the end 8S. Now we have to number the next subshell, which is P. So it will be starts from 2 because it is present in L shell and the value of L is 2. So it will be 2P, 3P, 4P, 5P, 6P and 7P. After that is M, and M gonna be, in M we have to number 3. D, we have to number D subshell, which will be 3D, 4D, 5D and 6D. After that is N. In N shell we have to number F subshell, which will be 4F, 5F and so on. So in this way we will arrange the subshells and their numbering so that we can easily accommodate electrons in them. Now here I am taking an example of sodium. Atomic number of sodium is 11. Always remember that for doing electronic configuration, we have to deal with atomic numbers. We never go with atomic masses. Do you know why? Yes, we never deal with atomic masses because in case of atomic masses, we are dealing with protons and neutrons. While in case of atomic numbers, we are dealing with number of protons. And remember, number of protons are always equal to number of electrons. And here we have to arrange electrons. So we will go with atomic number. Now the atomic number of sodium is 11. So how many electrons can accommodate in S subshell? Yes, you are right. It's gonna be 2. So 2 comes here and 2 will accommodate in the second S shell. While the P shell can accommodate 6 electrons. Now let me count them. It will be 2 plus 2, 4 plus 6, 10. Now the 1 is left behind and it will come into the next subshell because p subshell cannot accommodate more than 6 electrons. So it will come into s subshell. In this way, we can accommodate electrons in subshells. Let's try some other elements. Magnesium has atomic number 12. Now I have to put 12 electrons in subshells. First of all, I have to put my electrons in those subshells which have lowest energy. So I will go with 1s. We all know that s can accommodate 2 electrons. 2 electrons will move into 2s. P can accommodate 6 electrons. So it's gonna be 10. The rest of the 2 electrons will move to 3s. Now in magnesium there are 2 electrons present in the valence shell. So that's why it belongs to group number 2, alkaline earth metals. Aluminium has atomic number 13. Now I have to accommodate 13 electrons in this arrangement. S subshell cannot accommodate more than 2 electrons. So in the similar way, 2 in 1s, 2 in 2s, 6 in 2p, 2 in 3s. Now they are 12. While the atomic number of aluminium is 13. 3s cannot accommodate more than 2 electrons. The remaining 1 electron will move to 3p. So that's why aluminium belongs to group number 13. And it has 3 electrons in its outermost shell. After that is silicon. Now the silicon has atomic number 14. The electrons will gonna fill in the similar way and 3p will get 2 electrons. So in this way, by this method, we can do electronic configuration of any elements. Let's move with calcium. So calcium has an atomic number of 20. Now we have to put 20 electrons in the subshells. So 2 in 1s, 2 in 2s, 6 in 2p, 3s will contain 2. And now I have to arrange the remaining electrons. If I will put 6 electrons in 3p, it will become 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. While the 2 electrons will left behind which will move towards 4s. So in this way, by arranging the subshells properly, we can do electronic configuration of any element. There are some exceptions. Let's discuss them. Some elements in the periodic table show exceptions because of the presence of d subshell. For example, chromium has an atomic number 24. First of all, we will do its electronic configuration by a simple rule. Then we will discuss that what was the problem, that why chromium shows peculiar behavior. So here 2 electrons in 1s, 2 in 2s, and we know that the p subshell cannot accommodate more than 6 electrons. Then 2 in 3s, 6 in 3p, 2 in 4s. So let them count. They are 20. Now after 20, 4 electrons are left behind. So these 4 electrons will move to 3d. So according to this simple configuration, the valence shell will be 3d. But in case of chromium, the valence shell is 4s, which is an incomplete shell. Now how it gonna be happened? When we talk about d subshell, always remember d subshell is much more stable when it is fully filled containing 10 electrons, or when it is half filled containing 5 electrons. So to get more stability, it is near about to 5, as here 3d contains 4 electrons. To get more stable, it takes 1 electron from 4s and becomes 5. So in this state, it feels more comfortable and it is more stable. While as it takes 1 electron from the 4s, so how many electrons will be left behind in 4s? Yes, only the 1 electron will left behind in 4s. And the last outermost valence shell will be 4s, because it contains 1 electron, while the 3d will become stable as it contains half filled electrons in it. So in this way, chromium shows exceptional behavior. Let's discuss for copper. Copper has an atomic number 29. So here I have to write it 29. Now I have to put these electrons in their subshells. So 1s will get 2, 2s will get 2, 2p will get 6, 3s will get 2, 3p will get 6, and according to the simple configuration, 4s will get 2. So they will become 20. And the rest of the 9 electrons will move to d subshell, because d can accommodate up to 10 electrons. But as I have told you before, that d subshell feel much more stable when it has 5 electrons in its outermost shell, or it has 10 electrons in its outermost shell. So it always try to achieve nearby configuration. Now there are 9 electrons, so nearby is 10. It will take 1 electron from 4s and turns into 10. While in 4s, only 1 electron will left behind. So in this way, the valence shell of copper will be 4s. With 1 electron in it. I hope that this topic is pretty clear to you now. Thank you so much.